Imagine waking up in total darkness. You can't move. There's barely room to breathe. The air is thick, like it's already been breathed. Your hands reach upward and meet wood. Solid, close. Then the panic rises. You scream, but no one hears you. Because you're not in a room, you're in a box, and it's buried. There's no scream loud enough, there's no fingernail sharp enough. Only the horror of knowing you've been left for dead and you're still alive. Hey, I'm Mombi Yuleman, and this channel is your lantern through the weird, the haunted, and the unexplained. Stories that claw their way into your head and never quite let go. Before we lower the lid on tonight's tale, tap that like and subscribe button to stay connected to the strange and unsettling. I upload once a week, sharing legends, lore, and music that echoes from the other side. Let's descend. The idea of being buried alive isn't just a horror trope. It was a very real fear for centuries, especially in the 18th and 19th centuries, when science was still catching up to death itself. Some people were buried before they were truly gone. Some woke up underground, and some were never found at all. In the Victorian era, medicine wasn't always able to draw a clear line between life and death. Conditions like catalepsy and comas could mimic death, and without modern tools like heart monitors or brain scans, mistakes were inevitable. The newspapers of the time are filled with chilling accounts. One of the most infamous comes from 19th century France. A young woman named Angelique Blanchard was pronounced dead and buried. But when grave robbers attempted to steal her jewelry just a few days later, they found her coffin clawed from the inside. Her nails were torn, her face frozen in horror. She had woken up beneath the earth and died again, this time for real, screaming in the dark. Accounts like this weren't rare. People were terrified enough to demand special safety coffins, rigged with bells, breathing pipes, and even glass viewing panels in case the worst happened. Some wealthier families even hired watchmen to guard freshly dug graves, just in case. Another infamous case of premature burial comes from 19th century West Virginia. A young woman named Octavia Smith Hatcher fell gravely ill and slipped into a coma. With no signs of life, she was declared dead and quickly buried in the sweltering heat of May. But not long after, others in town began falling ill with a similar condition, one that included a temporary coma-like paralysis. Fearing the worst, her husband had Octavia's body exhumed. What he found was horrific. The lining of her coffin was shredded, her fingernails broken and bloodied, her face frozen in a final scream. She had woken up underground and died clawing to get out. The fog of fear and fascination deeply haunted Edgar Allan Poe, who captured it in one of his most chilling works. In my track, The Premature Burial, I wanted to evoke the slow rise of panic, the rumble of earth, the creaking of timber, the barely audible gasps and groans and scratching, a muffled cry from within the coffin that no one hears. This is The Premature Burial from Tales of Lost Transmissions. When I began composing this track, I wanted the music itself to feel like a descent. It starts with a sense of confusion, soft textures, and ambient dread, then slowly tightens like the walls of a coffin. I layered distant muffled groans and subtle coffin scratching to build a claustrophobic atmosphere. I used morphing drones and tape-saturated textures to make it feel aged and decaying, as if the track itself had been buried and unearthed. The goal wasn't just to tell Poe's story, it was to trap you in. It's hard to imagine a more terrifying fate, trapped beneath the earth, sealed in silence, with nothing but time and terror, no light, no air, just the sound of your own heartbeat, louder with each second. You scream, but the soil swallows it. You claw, but the walls don't give. If you want to listen to the full track, follow the link below. How long would your mind hold on? Would you stay calm, try to strategize? Or would the panic take you whole? Would you pray, curse? Remember something long forgotten? What would your last thought be in the dark? Have you had a creepy experience or encounter? Something spooky, paranormal, or out of this world? Know a person who has been buried alive? Share your story or request in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious, stay strange, and stay searching.